Why is indoctrination so dangerous? Any kind of indoctrination. Well, let me give you 5 points of why it's dangerous. Because it takes away your identity. And God is here to give you your identity. You are here to become fully human. That's why you're here, to experience a human life with God here on earth with you, experiencing all the things that you love, that you want to succeed in, the passions of your life, the things that you want to grow and learn in, all of these things. We are here because we are human and we are supposed to have a human experience. Now, when you have indoctrination, it cuts away through that identity. And indoctrination, what it does is the number one purpose is to control you. So I want to give you 5 areas of where indoctrination can be very dangerous if it's taken away your true identity. God would never want to do that. God is actually here to show you your best self. That's the whole point. So if religion, any type of religion, any type of spiritual platform or program is going to take that away, then that is not of God. Because God is all about sovereignty and equipping you, helping you to grow and develop. And so there are 5 ways that you know that any kind of ism, an ideology, or a person is not of God is when they are trying to control you. And that's what indoctrination is. It's a method of control. And how do they do that? In 5 different areas. The first area is they want to control behavior. How much has religion or Christianity trying to control our behavior, right? And there's a sense of a judgment call, and that everyone needs to fall in line to behave in this kind of behavior, even in the areas of, how you vote politically, right? And this comes along with this is, if you are really of God and you're on his side, you want to vote this way. That's just one example. But there's this control mechanism of trying to control people in their behavior, and whether they think that's all good, not necessarily, because if you're not making that decision, then it's control, and that is not of God. That's fear-based control. Number 2 is when they're trying to control information. So if you're asking questions and you're growing, you're developing, you want to have critical thinking skills. I want my kids to have critical thinking skills. I want them to question. I want them to ask questions out of the box if they don't understand something, right? But a lot of times with religious institutions, there is a control of information, and it's like an echo chamber, and they don't want you to go outside of those parameters or those boundaries to seek out a holistic view and understanding of a certain topic. And I remember being in Bible school and in seminary, and you really don't have time to search out those things. And it's been so tailored for a certain point of view that that's all you get, and you don't get the full picture. So in indoctrination, they're trying to control how that information is being given to you. And a lot of times it's very biased and it's only one way. Instead of saying, well, let's research that. Let's investigate that historically. Let's investigate that, biblically and theologically, and how there's many different points of views. Like say for eschatology, there's 4 points of view. I was only taught 1 point of view, right? And so this is one thing that it's a red flag when you think through, where you're coming from in your Christian base or your denomination and the kind of information that was given. And that if you don't follow along, then there is that shaming aspect of it. That's a big red flag. A third way indoctrination is very dangerous is that there is thought control. How you should think about anything, everything under the sun, what kind of music you should be listening to, is, that purity culture of, your sexuality and, are you, in lust or not in lust? And they're wanting to control your thought patterns, and fine, they can say it's all for good. But again, if you're trying to control that, that is not through freedom, but through a control mechanism, a manipulation where, now you're going to be shamed, or there's going to be guilt, or there's going to be some penalties or some punishment. And this is not of God. Does not operate in that way. But I understand institutions feel like they need to have that membership in place. The fourth area where you have this indoctrination, and the side effects of that is this emotional control, where there's a lot of emotion tacked into how you behave, how you think, right? Who you are. And that if you don't, feel this way and have a good feeling about it, then my goodness, then you're not one of us, you are one of them. And there's this policing going on, and it really stunts your whole being and the growth of who you are, especially when there is such a box to put you in, and you have to fit into that box. That's very dangerous, and that's very hurtful. A lot of people go through PTSD because of that, and that stays with them for a very long time, and they still have to work through that and struggle through that. And lastly, there is that social control, where you're doing everything with your church or your denomination or this party or whatever. And you have to be one of them and think like them and smell like them and walk like them. And you're not, again, going back to, you're losing that individuality, you're losing your identity. And yes, we can be in groups and where we identify and resonate with each other. But when that social group is now, okay, if you don't believe this way, then you're out. Then you have an issue where it's a red flag, and it's a good meter to test it of, okay, then this is all about control. It's not about being equipped and empowered to be your own sovereign person. So this is why indoctrination is very dangerous, and you want to think through how your belief system has been impacted since a child, a teenager, a young adult, as an adult, maybe as a parent, a married person, a single person, as a career person, whatever stage you're at in your life. Think through the whole processes of where you've been and where you're going, and how everything has evolved from that moment to this moment now, and think through it and look at all of that, and you can begin to gauge and to now understand from a more adult framework and a more holistic framework of like, that was very unhealthy. That was not there to help me. It was there to help the system, the institution, but not me. And where is God in all of this? How is God being portrayed through these different institutions into this systematic belief system? And if I don't comply, what will happen to me? And this is where we want people to come out of indoctrination. And this is a place here at Mercy Me Mentor where you can now begin to investigate. Come out of indoctrination into investigation, and you want to probe. You want to ask those questions. That is freeing. That is better for us. Not less than, but it's more than. And so that's why we're here to help you work together these kinds of thoughts, these kinds of experiences that you might have been having, and to come and to have a conversation about, oh my goodness, where have I been and where do I want to go? And how do I find that healthy spot of who I am and who I think God is? And I want to do community. I want to be with those that are experiencing, the same kind of things that I have, and that it's not just me, but that it is really real of what people are going through, and that it's okay for us to talk about it, and then to then move beyond that and to say, okay, now how do I want to reconstruct my life, my spiritual life, my thought life, my behavior, my belief system, and what do I really believe and what do I not believe? So if that's describing you, then you're at the right place. This is Mercy Me Mentor.